Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Can
I
see
can see
it.
your screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to week two community session. So this is the third week two. This is the third community session for this cohort, and we sincerely apologize for the mail that wasn't able to get out to you guys in time. We sincerely apologize about that. So we hope you guys don't take an offense. Okay. So this past week we talked about a lot of things, and yeah, let's get into it. So let's start with the recap of week two's material. So we can start what's it called again? Hi Teju. You can start streaming. Okay, so let me continue. So this week we did a bit of uh, work. We did introduction to data science lecture. We did JIT and GitHub lab. We did data collection, and we also we did the lecture and also did the lab. So before we proceed, I want us to so I will launch a poll, and I want us to all like participate in the poll. So can you all see the poll now?
Yes, please. Yes, we can.
Kindly fill the. You can just answer the questions to the poll, and let's see how that goes. So we ask question. The question one, I want you to. Question one is a multiple choice. So I just want you to select the ones you watched. The multiple choice. Select the videos you watched. Then question two, three, and four are those ones are just simple choice. You just want to know how that went on. So okay. So it seems like a lot of people watched the introduction to data science lecture. I watched the JIT and GitHub lab. Not everybody watched the JIT and GitHub lab, but a lot of people didn't. It seems majority didn't watch the JIT. Only 10. Okay, please let us participate in the lab, in the poll. The thing is, this assessment is majorly based on the GitHub lab, the JIT and GitHub lab, and as well as the web scraping lab. If you watch the web scraping lab, then definitely you have a very solid idea of how to go through the assessment. We advise you guys to watch the videos. That's why they were sent to you guys. If you watch the videos, then it won't be a challenge for you to scrape a website. So there are a lot of so if you try a website and it doesn't go, you can always try another. We just want you to have the experience of being able to scrape your website. Okay. Well,
So I can't see the pool. I don't know where the pool is. Where can I get the pool from?
okay. Um, there's a below at the bottom of your screen, you see an option like three dots. So you should see poll. Can everybody see the poll? If you can't, oh, question five. Okay, question five doesn't have optic that aligns with me. Can you share the optic that aligns with you? Just drop it in the chat. Let's know. Just drop it in the. Oh, actually, I said that it was fine. Okay, my apologies. Okay, so please let's. I'll still leave the poll open. I'll still leave it open. Um. Okay. Then okay. So let's continue. I'll come to your question, Oluwafemi. I'll come to your question. So introduction to data science. So I need anybody to just like unmute themselves and just tell us from the material we went from the material shared to you. Can you just tell us what you understand by data science? Feel free to unmute yourself. Anybody wants to volunteer?
Okay, so let me just go first. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so from what I got from the material, so data
Okay.
science really is about, of course, it's a multi-discipline field, that cut across, different fields. But
Mhm.
majorly, it's focused around, try to get insight from data. You have data. It's not about just building machine learning models. It encompasses other skills. Like, you get the data, you clean it, then of course you also build models, then also tell story about data. So really, it's about, getting insight from data and be able to communicate it to stakeholders. So, and it's
Mhm.
better around, we have the AI, we have the ML, but basically really is not more of the algorithm part, but more of extracting insight from data to drive business goals. Thank you.
Okay. Oh wow, thank you very much for this. Anybody else wants to give it a shot?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, actually, good morning. So from what I learned from the materials last week, so I learned that data science is basically at the crossroads between core IT, which is information technology, that is the computer programming aspect. Then you have statistical analysis. Then you have your domain expertise. So when you combine everything together, you have data science. So it's basically about dealing with data, performing statistical analysis on them, and then you build algorithms, you build machine learning algorithms to kind of make predictions on your data and perform other things on the data. And then while doing this, you apply your domain expertise to make sure that the results you are getting, you are interpreting them the right way. So that's
Oh,
just like
yeah.
what I've been able to learn
Thank
in a nutshell.
you very much for that. Thank you very much. Everybody is thank you very much. Everyone was correct. I really appreciate it. Everybody's very correct. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So let's just go into the material. So data science is an interdisciplinary field. It combines a lot of field. It's not so it combines a lot of field, and so it involves the process of collecting, cleaning, analyzing data to guide decision making and create data driven products. So it gives you so you're able so data science is about gathering data, using using your algorithm to and then deriving insights. So that's basically what data science is all about. Thanks so much. Really appreciate you guys. So why do we think data science is important? Anybody wants to tell us about that? So why do you think data science is important?
So can you come up with the question? Sorry.
Why is data science important? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. You're displaying the question. Why is data science important?
Yeah. So why is data science important?
I will give an answer to that. Number one, we've as human being businesses and different disciplines, we've generated enough and more than enough data. So there's a call to want to make sense of the data, and businesses want to make profit and want to see what they are missing or what could be done better. And so, with the advancement of knowledge, growth in knowledge, and availability of resources, right? So,
Mhm.
data science kind of answers that question, combining the domain knowledge, availability of data, and hopes to bring insight to different field to solve problems.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. That was it. So let's go into it. Why do you think data science is important? Okay, so for data-driven decisions. So data-driven decisions. So companies rely on insights to say that okay, I think this is the next step of action, and then to make them make strategic choices. So they're not just making decisions based on okay what we think, but actually making decisions based on the what is actually on ground, not just based on emotions, but based on the reality. Okay, so also predictive forecasting, forecast future events based on historical patterns, automation and AI. So build intelligent systems that so this and also competitive advantage. So when you make data-driven decisions, which are strategic, so definitely you will be able to stay ahead of the data and you see wherever the trend is going and you also follow the trend. So that those are the importance of data science and the advantage it gives organizations. Okay. So key components of data science, interpretation and communication. So this was part of what we said earlier. So translating results into insights. So when you create when you get your data and then you get insight and then you get insight from it. So you create dashboards and reports. So this dashboard and reports are then used to make recommendations based on the findings we got from our data. Also, um, so these are the stuffs. Data collection is gathering raw data from different sources, so we can get data from databases, APIs, web scraping, sensors or IoT devices. So these are the different ways we can get data. So we wanted everybody to try the web scraping. But how many of us interacted with were able to run the notebook? Okay, those of us that were able to run the notebook, how many of us tried in the notebook were shown how to okay, thank you. We're shown how to how to run, how to uh get a data set via a Kaggle API without downloading it. How many of us tried that?
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I did.
I did as well.
You did okay. Okay. So you're able to download you're able to get the Calculator API and also upload it to Google Colab.
Google Drive.
Oh,
Yes.
that's very good. Okay. So does anybody have any challenge doing that? Does anybody have any challenge like getting a
I won't say I have challenge because the video was pretty explanatory, so just a walk in the park.
okay. Okay.
I don't know
Let's
if you can revisit that scripting for us, please.
okay, we'll still do the scraping. So just
Yeah, I won't consider mine a challenge, but it's something I noticed and I want to clarify here. In the script for making the directory for cargo, I noticed you can't change the name when you get the API. Initially, I tried to change my own name to Kego API 1 because that was my first API there. But it won't run. It will keep giving you errors until you change it back to kego.json.
Okay, okay, okay. Oh, okay. It's probably there. Let me try to open the.
I think this is because like when you do the pip install cargo is also always looking for cargo.json under the hood. I think the instruction always says that you should save it like that. Could be why you're getting an error. Unless
Okay.
you go to like you go inside the scripts wherever they have it, you change the name there as well.
Okay.
This is
Thank you.
my intuition as to why. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you
Uh,
for that.
let me stop sharing for a while. I'll be back. Sorry. Um, okay, let me consider. I want to consider sharing.
Then sorry, just to add on to that. So to add on to what
Yay, my boss is here. Sorry, Taya just dropped in like that. Taya is a colleague and our guest is making a guest appearance today, and you've also seen him a lot during the week if you watch the video. So thank you so much for being here, Taya. I just wanted to properly introduce you. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks, Teju. Um, so the other thing is when you download, when you're trying to get the API from your profile, from your cargo profile, when you download it as cargo.json. So if you wanted it to be cargo123 or your name.json, you could have changed it when you were downloading it, and then in collaboration with wherever the API is picking the file that it's referencing, it's just a matter of naming it correctly and the name is matching. You understand? So when you download it, by default, you're downloading cargo.json. But if you rename it, then you might be able to use a different name as well.
Okay. I did rename it when I downloaded it. Cargo.js. I changed it to cargo token underscore one. Then when I made the directory, I used that name, cargo token underscore one. Every other thing worked except the last script, that last one
Oh,
that was
okay. Noted.
referencing.
But I guess what Teju said is what goes here. So you have to go under the hood to make
Okay.
the direct referencing.
Okay. Thank
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for that, sir. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Please, who knows any I need to like. There's something blocking my screen. I'm not able to change the tab. Do you have any control to change tab from the keyboard?
I have forgotten it all. Let me quickly Google it for you. Did you
This
find it already?
I'm trying to from okay. Okay, control tab.
Um, yeah, Control Tab Move.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So let's just go through the notebook let's just go through the notebook. So first of all, I guess I'll just first of all you have to go to your cargo page and then get the let me okay let's quickly do that.
Sorry, Yemi,
Yes.
is this the notebook that Taya is going to be walking through a bit
Okay,
later?
okay. Yeah. Probably I should just hold on.
Yeah, I think Taya is going to take them through it when we get to the web scraping session. So probably better
So,
to use the time there to do it.
okay. So, later, Mr. Tyre will get us through how to, properly, do that. So, okay. Then now let's go to, data cleaning and let's go to data cleaning and data cleaning and pre-processing. Okay, so I wanted to, uh, so during the week. Okay, let me just. The way I planned it was just to, go through this and, and use it as a. Well, I'm not sure I'll be able to go through this, but let's just proceed. So handling missing value, you can easily use your you can easily
No,
use the
um, I think what you wanted to do was you want to load in that data, right? You can still do it. Just
yeah,
get the data so that we can do the demo for the handling missing values. But in terms of like the web scraping, T will do that later on when we get into the web scraping part so that it flows nicely. But if you want to show how to handle missing value or remove duplicates, we can just load the Kaggle data that you have there already, and then we can share it there if this is what you want to do.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's basically what I want to. So okay. So first, okay, I'm not sure I've downloaded. Let me download the cargo. Let me go to my profile and download the cargo. Jason. So,
Just to note that you may need to delete it immediately after this call because it's gonna be
yeah,
picking.
yeah. So then to settings, then okay, then create new token, continue, then spam. Hope we are following. So this is the cargo.json. So I
So you can see that Yamife just showed you how you can get your token by going to his profile. He has a Kaggle account. He downloaded it there, and now when you run that cell, which is in the notebook that we provided for you, you can just upload it, and you can see his token is displayed. You should not be showing this live, so he has to go delete it after this class. Otherwise, everyone knows the token, and it's not so it's supposed to be private to you. Um, okay.
so this is the
Can you
you can see
can
this
you please
now. This is
zoom in a bit? I think it's tiny a little bit for me, but yeah. Okay, yeah.
okay. So here my cargo. This is my cargo API key that's been downloaded. So now, then this is structure. This first one says that okay, if there's any cargo if there's any cargo directory currently on my local machine, remove it. Then this mkdir says make a directory named .cargo. Then move my cargo JSON into this folder. Then and then you can see that I forgot what this search mode means. Well, you guys,
It's
that
just to
is
change the it is just to change the modify like something to make it open to whoever needs to see it. Yeah.
yeah. So and then this cargo dataset is of course list out the available datasets I can access. So these are the datasets I can access. Let me check if this particular data. I'm not sure if this okay. So I have access to this same particular data set. You can see. So total price of cities in India. So this is just I'm just trying the way for you to the way you can like run the notebook. So this is the notebook and import the file. This what said we have to zip it. The file is zipped, so we have to like unzip the file. So there is the file here, but it is zipped. So now let us unzip it. Then okay. So now let us now we have to read the file into a pandas data frame. So you can see we have Bangalore CSV, you have Chennai, you have Delhi, we have Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai. So we are working on Bangalore. Okay. So now that you already have Bangalore. So let me just do. Let me create. Let me just do this. So basically we were doing. We also want to check want to check for missing. Please, are we following?
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Okay, can you go back to the uh
To the notebook.
TensorFlow? Yeah, to the notebook.
Okay.
Yes, this part
Which parts
that talks
exactly?
about importing using pandas now. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed something yesterday. I was trying to wrap my head around it. I used a different data set. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to know, how did you know that the name of the data set is bangalore.csv? Because the initial name is hotel price, data, all those things. When you extract it, the name changed to Bangalore.
Okay.
Mine was Netflix underscore data. So I thought that was the name. But
Okay.
when
No
I
problem.
extracted it,
This
yeah, yeah, good.
okay. Thank you very much for that question. When we downloaded, like, do you got it up to this point? Can you see
Yeah,
my
I got up to that point.
so after this point, you see that we after at that point we were able to download this hotel price data of cities in India. Is that correct? Do you get that?
Yeah, yeah, I got that.
So afterwards, this is a zip file. So this zip file, it contains like all this Bangalore CSV, Chennai,
Okay,
this. So when we unzipped
okay,
it, we were able to get all this file. Do you get? So if
okay.
as I also did Bangalore CSV, I could also do Mumbai CSV.
Mumbai, yeah, yeah, okay.
Do
I
you
didn't
get?
open that folder. I did not open that side folder. Yeah, I get that. Thank you.
So so you can see this is Mumbai CSV. But the thing is, you just have to for you to see files. See, this is the folder. This is the folder you are working with in a Google Colab. Do you get that?
Yeah, I get that.
So you just when you click on it, you'll see the files that are currently in this in your that are available to you in your current working directory. Exactly. So
Yeah,
and
thank you.
for you to get this content, does you can just come to Mumbai and just click, copy path. Exactly. So I can just and I'll just do it like this. Sorry, Control V. Exactly.
Yeah, it's clear. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay. So instead of
I
bank.
even if you double click on bangalore.csv, it will open up in an like on the site, so you can even quickly view the data.
Exactly.
All right, thank you for clarifying
But
that.
if the data is very large, it may take some time to open. But if it's small, you can quickly look at it on the site as well.
You can see the Bangalore CSV now. So here's the. Hope you can see it.
I can see it.
Yeah. Thanks for that question. So you
Thank you.
can close. No problem. So okay. So yeah. So I want so let us now check.
Precious hands is up.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Precious. Oh, sorry. Precious. Continue.
Good morning. Please,
Yeah. Go on.
yesterday when I tried to do my own scraping, I want to ask, is the reason the file place where the last person's question was from, I couldn't see any of my file displaying. Rather, it was something that was already there. Is it because I did not open this zip? Is it this zip code? Abi?
It is difficult. Like while you were scraping, right?
Yeah.
You should, or else you decide to save it as a CSV file. You won't see it here. If it is just normal script, you are supposed to see it output, like just like you see where I'm seeing this. Where I'm
Yeah,
seeing this.
I saw all the outputs, but
You saw
when
it.
when I wanted to move it, I noticed that what was on the file was not linked to what I was doing entirely. I was trying to scrape, is it Spotify, top music from Spotify that I got from, is it Carlo or what? But when I came to this file, when I opened the file, what I found was not linked to what I was doing at all.
Oh wow. The thing is, whatever challenge you're facing, let us we can just like screenshot that part and send it. We'll have send it to the channel, and so that we'll have a better picture of what exactly is going on. So if we know probably it's from your code or whatever. Do you get?
Yes.
So please, when you have challenges, even when you are going through when you are going through the assessment, if you have challenges like that, always like reach out on the Discord channel, so we'll be able to better support you. Exactly.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So please just probably after the call, or you can just go and drop it now. So you can just go and drop it now. Okay. So now our time is fast spent. So sorry. Let's try to do the mean of numeric of only you can only calculate um calculate the mean of numeric values only. Is that clear? So let's try that. So now this I did df dot mean, which means calculate the mean. So it's and I said numeric only equals to true. So I'm just telling that only just calculate the mean of only the numeric columns. Is that clear? So and here it is. So these are the only columns that are numeric, and it gave me the mean. Do we know what mean is?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, average.
Average.
Oh,
Exactly. So the number of okay before okay let me even okay, let's do def dot describe. Okay, so this is okay. This is also another way to do this is the general way to do everything. Let's check the um, so we have 101. So like we have 101 rows. So that means it will add everything, then divide by 101. So this is what we call summary statistics. You just want to like check for everything. So you can see count 101. Mean, standard deviation, use the minimum value, the 25th percentile, 50th percentile, 75th percentile, and that's the maximum value. So we've done for the mean. We can also do for the median. We have dot median. And as always, you can say numeric.
Before you do it, what do you think the median would be? Because the answer is somewhere.
Okay.
Uh, what is the median? Can anyone?
Okay.
The
Can anyone
50th
tell us?
percentile.
Sorry?
Huh? I said the median.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
50th percentile.
Oh,
exactly. Because it's
uh,
like right there in your face. It's the 50th
yeah,
percentile.
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
4.0 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So we are
One more way. I hope people can understand Yoruba here. One more
so
way.
okay. So you
Yeah.
can see that's our 58th percentile, which is also our median. So and then we can also check. Okay, so you can just if you for your data set you can just quickly run df.describe just to quickly check and see like what exactly your data set is all about. You can also do df.info. Okay. So this is what see, you don't need to cram all these stuff, but you just need to understand it so you know exactly what you need at what time. It's not necessarily about cramming is more about understanding what you need and then you get what you need. So this was telling us that okay, this is telling us okay, we have 100 non-null values, which means that we have 100 valid values, 100 normal values. So this will tell us, you see, non-null counts, which is like real values. When we did the counts, it means it was 101. So that means that all these are correct. This 86 non-null value, what does this mean? Can anybody tell us?
Yeah.
86 of the values in the data frame have values attached to them and not null.
Okay, and that means that
There are like 15 null
Missing,
values as well.
missing value.
exactly we have missing values in our data set. So we have missing values in our data set. So that's very correct. So now, because we can also check for, so now let us check for missing values. We can do df dot to check for missing values. Yes, okay, df dot is null. So we can do df dot is null. This is what df dot is null will give. It will just give you a boolean value of saying that false, true. Like okay, this is a. It will just go through everything and say okay, these are true values. These are like this is. If we just give a boolean value, okay, it's null. It is not null. So it means that these ones are saying that these are not null. But we don't. This doesn't really make much sense to us, right? So we can say okay, instead of just giving us the boolean value, give us the sum of the null values. So you can see, so star rating, we have 15 null values, and then landmark, distance to landmark, we have missing values. So you can see the missing values we have in our data set. So then, however, I want to tackle our missing values, we can always do that later. But that is not, we'll treat that later. But regardless, just to show us how you can do, how you can just do simple, manipulation, a simple investigation into your data set. I hope that was clear. So
Detective Yomi
Yeah.
first.
oh, that was clear. So that's just that. So there are other places we can get data sets. You see, depending on which data sets you want. You see, and National Bureau of Statistics, organ phase. So we've done for cargo, as you can see that. Then we'll still do for scraping. So yeah, so this, don't worry, in databases now, we'll be working in the coming week, we'll be working with SQL. So I want to like talk about that here, so we'll go into that in the coming week. So we've seen missing data, and then we've seen duplicates. So okay, this is you can remove duplicate. Okay, let's try to remove the duplicates. Okay. Can say that, so to drop, we want to drop the duplicate, so we can say that df dot drop what na.
But that's not duplicate, Yomi Fena. We want
Oh
to drop.
no, sorry, this is dropping sorry, this is dropping
Null values. So
no values. Thank you. This is dropping no values. That's I missed it there. So okay, we can say let us drop it.
And the in place just says that you want to, drop it in like you don't want it to create a new data frame. You want to remove it. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So now let's now do.
Sorry, I have a question, please. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. We calculated means and a median, and we also
Yeah.
talks about missing values. So how do we fix the problems of the missing values with regard to that one?
Okay, there are a lot of ways to fix missing values. There are different approach. the thing is, I won't want us. You can say that we can fill it with me. You can fill it with medium. You can fill it with mode. You can say you want to fill forward or fill backward. Major probably want to fill forward probably in a what's it called in time series. So the thing is, there are different approach, but different method works. Exactly. So it depends. There's no. It depends on what works for you actually and what you are trying to achieve.
So for
So
instance, now, if we wanted to fix it with mean, how do we put it into the missing spaces?
okay. Okay. Oh, already. Okay. So let me run this off because I've already dropped the missing values. Okay. So let me read this file again. Okay. Oh, have I?
So,
Maybe there's. Sorry. Okay.
so in
Let
order
me.
to fill it, you just there's a method in pandas that is called fill nan, NA. It can be something you try as well on your computer right now. You can just do df.fill na, NA, and then use the mean um, to fill it with the mean. So usually when you're in doubt, you go to your pandas repository, you try to find the right function, or when you Google it, someone has asked the same question before. So you can just like copy their solution, try to understand what they're trying to do. And this is what Yomife is showing right now. So if you use 0, it will just fill all the missing value, all the non-value with 0. But if you want to fill all the non-value with the mean, so it should just be like df.mean. Like you have to keep going. So
Yeah,
brackets
I got it.
df.mean.
Okay. The thing is, let me just so that we'll be clear. Let me go to pandas documentation. So that it won't just be like we are just like. So this will make it. So let me how you say missing values. Mhm. So can you see? So it will give. So we'll now check through all these things. So let's open a new tab. Okay. Okay. Oh, I don't know.
I
Okay,
think
this is
you want
not.
to go to you want to search fill nan, NA,
Let me just.
so that you can go to the exact function fill NA. Or I'm not, yeah, yeah, that's the method. So the documentation will just tell you how all of the methods work. Sometimes they have tutorials that you can go through, and you can see in the how to use the method. They usually have example. You want me to scroll down, please? You can see that there's an example of how to use it. So you can, if you figure out the method that you need, you can go into the documentation, read more about it, what the signature of that method is, what is the input, what is the output, and how can you use it. So now, like Funan is there, you can read about the method, and we can also try it out.
Okay. So there you can always try out different methods to see whichever one works. Whichever one works best, and depending on what exactly you're trying to achieve. So let me just continue. Let me fill everything with this. You see method. There is fill method. Okay. See, you can say forward fill. You can say, but we are not doing forward fill. We don't want open. So let's do. Okay, I think I have dropped. Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, then, okay, so okay. I think it was supposed to be 0. Okay, let's fill everything with the.
I think Bala wanted us to fill it with the mean, right? So you can just do. I'll copy paste the code into the
Um,
chat. So this would fill it with the mean. You can see the code I just put the fill and df dot mean is to fill it with the mean for each of the columns. You should at least if it's all on or to make sure an error because of the no field now because of the numerical categorical column or it's fine. Yeah, I think
okay.
there's some
You have to, exactly. You have to
yeah,
say, you
so
have
you
to.
have to make sure that you only take the numerical columns alone.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, for the
Okay.
interest of
Yeah,
time,
just for the sake of time. So
but
output.
Mfe, can you please Bala, do you have enough guidance to try it out by yourself?
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, the reason why we're getting that error is because the data frame has both numerical and categorical column. So in order to do this, we need to first take out the numerical columns before we can, use all of the mean. Otherwise, there's a problem. I don't want us to start debugging this right now because so we can go through the rest of the material. But if you run into errors like that, you can put it on Discord and we'll try to figure it out. Okay?
Okay, thank you then.
Yeah.
So thank you very much
Okay.
for.
Hello. Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
Um, so when you removed the nulls,
Mm-hmm.
did that shrink the size of the data?
Sure.
Like
Sure.
removed,
Okay. When I removed. Okay. I think I removed this.
drop
So now
any?
yeah, let us quickly do this. Then we can do the df dot let's not do df dot what's it called?
Just
Let's
do a length
or we
DF.
can just length. Let me just
Yeah.
do the length.
Then the second question I have, like, what are the guidelines to, because I mean, the data you have, it's very, very important. What are the
Mm-hmm.
guidelines to like data cleaning and pre-processing? How do you um because it's like a very important part before you it's the data that you are able to make sense. It's a very important part before your analysis and stuff happens,
No, no,
or
no.
rather before you establish your models. So how what I'm what
Sorry, just a moment. Okay, yeah. Uh, can you please continue your question?
I think we lost him.
Okay.
What
I think he was having similar question that I wanted to ask. Uh, for me in particular, I was into machine learning for a little bit of 1 year or 2 years to say, but I was having problems. I wanted to translate into like NLP research. So I normally used to have problems when it comes to converting these categorical values into numeric value. I think it is very important it would be very nice if we can have it maybe in some other sessions. Free processing and all this thing is very important. So that was what I think he was asking for.
Yeah, the thing is, okay,
Hello.
answer.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm back.
Okay.
Can you hear me? So I was asking,
Yeah,
when do you make decisions as regards um dropping, you get making sure you are able to, as much as possible, preserve the structure of the data in such a way that the analysis and the models you generate from it are correct.
okay. I will talk a bit there. I think I will also let Teju and Teju also speak. So the thing is, it depends. Number one, it depends on your data. So like, look at now. Look at this particular data set now. I have only 101 rows. And I said, okay, when instead while in this means of clearing like missing values, I dropped the columns with missing values. See the number of columns, see the number of rows I have left. I have 46. Out of and in the first place, I don't have much data sets to work with. I had 40, I had 101. Now I dropped them. Now I'm having 46. Do you think dropping the missing values is a good idea?
No,
No,
because
no,
it's going
it's
to
not.
affect your analysis.
Exactly, because this value is too small. In the first place, my data set was very small. So and now I've dropped all the rows with missing values. Now I'm left with 46. There's there's not whatever I'm going to build with this 46 rows is, it won't be optimal because I have very small data set. So depend is the method, but the thing you can drop rows if you have a long, let's say you have 1,000, let's say you have 1,000 rows now. I'm just assuming, but you just have two rows with missing value. Then you probably, even though 1,000 rows is not like, it's not also like so much of a this data set, but at least you have only two missing values. So you can still, you can accommodate that. You dropping the two rows with missing values, you can accommodate that. Exactly.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. So then,
Oh,
mean and
hello,
median.
hello, I have a question. Before dropping let me say in a column, you're having 1,000 rows now, and
Mhm.
before considering dropping a value, like what's the percentage of the values that we can drop?
Okay.
Is it 10%? Is it 5% of the data?
I think it majorly depends on what you want to work. If your data set is much more than you're expecting, and you are just like looking for a way to clean it and sum up the data set. It depends on what the amount of data sets that you actually want to work with. I'm not sure there's any like rule that says that this is the percentage you can drop. Do you get? What if this is the amount of data set that you can drop, or the percentage of data set you can drop? It depends on the amount of data sets you have and the amount of data sets that you want to work with. That's why I say that there is no like is no it's not a black or white something. It is more of, okay, you can say, okay, let me drop it. Okay, let's see how it works. Then okay, then next time let me see how it works with the median. Let me see how it works with the so do you get that? Or Teju, do you want to say something? Can you say something to that?
No, I think you said it well, and it's also like it's you as a data scientist, you have data, like real world data is messy. There will always be missing value. It does not come, it's not gold, it's not clean as in cargo data sets that you even have less missing value. So you have customers, they don't fill in their data, and you have some other fields they fill in the data. When you drop everything, you are missing information. Like all of those insights from the other fields that the field will just be poof gone. So you have to figure out a way to be able to fill in those missing value or to be able to extract insights even with all the missing values that you have. And there are like arsenals of tools that you can use to do that. There's no one tool, like no one like answer fit it all. Like that's English is escaping me. So you have to try different things depending on the problem setting that you're working with. So yeah, it's not a clear-cut process, but some things have been tried and tested. Some things are like the first thing you think about is okay, can I get away by filling all these missing numerical values by zero? Okay, what does that mean for my data set? You start to think about it, like all your, let's say you have a column, age column, and all of like the missing value, you're like, okay, I fill it with zero. It means that you're assuming that in that row you only have zero, the age is zero. What does that mean for your data? So you have to think about it, think about the signature of each column. I said row, I meant column. Each column, and then how you want to treat it, how what kind of feel, like what's your baseline that you can use to be able to continue that analysis.
Hope we get that. Thank you very much. I see Mr. Jabbar has also dropped Mr. Some links has also been dropped. Mr. Jabbar dropped some links, and also Tejo has also dropped some. So you can check them out and read as much as you can read about it. There's no one size fits all. You just have to look at what works best for you, and the impact of like miss or feeling whatever, however you are feeling it. How is that going to impact your data sets and in the long run? Is that I hope that is clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, so that's why you call it data scientist. It is a science. It is a research. You are investigating. You are saying, okay, what works best, and due to my scenario, what what do I think this can lead to? So yeah, so we've done all this main media. So we can also do data visualization, and so I'm not sure we'll be able to like go deep into. Don't worry. This week we'll be going into data visualization, so we'll see how this stuff can be. So for the sake of time, so these are the data science workflow. You define the problem, collect necessary data, clean it, analyze, visualize, model the data, evaluate it, then you deploy it for people to use. So these are the tools we do use in data science. So far, we'll be able to do Python. This week we'll be interacting with SQL. This curriculum doesn't cover R, so we've interacted with NumPy. Oh, we interact more with pandas this week. We've interacted with this a little bit. We've not done this, but we'll still interact with Seaborn and Matplotlib currently. So we've explored. We've also worked with this one. Even yeah. So now let's move to cheats and GitHub. How many? So I said, okay. I think some.
Yomife, may I interject? I think a lot of people said they've already set up Git and GitHub. So I'm wondering if we don't need to cover this as much, or would people still like to see it in action? Just for the sake of time, let us know.
Let us know. Have you? How many of us understand Git and GitHub, and how many of us have we all set up our Git on desktop?
Yeah, we have.
Yes, I have. I was able to set up.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So let's skip to the data scraping part. So Taya has a bit more time to go through that. And if we have time, we can come back to what we expected of the assessment for that they would have done this week. Since it seems
Okay.
like a lot of people have done it, they like the video.
So time. So I would like to invite the bar to take us through the web scraping like lab Mr. Jabbar was the one that took the web scraping lecture. If you watched it, I hope you've all watched it. So it will be taking us through the lecture. Mr. Jabbar, you have the floor.
Gonna try to make Tayo a co-host so he can present. He can share his screen. If can you stop sharing so Tayo can share? While we're waiting for Tayo to share, T, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
I
coming.
just wanted to, while you're setting up, no worries. Mahmoudul, I saw your comment around the materials being like a bit overwhelming. This we understand that we try to make fit all of the cohort, which used to be 16 weeks into 12 weeks, intentionally because this is a different format. It's not. It's a flipped cohort style, and we also know that if we increase the length of the cohort, sometimes people don't are not able to stay until the
Yes.
very end, which is about like say 4 months or 5 months usually. So it really takes a lot of patience, and we just wanted to make sure that we curate these resources in a way that you can hopefully go through the videos as we have planned. So if you followed the recommended what's the English I'm looking for, Yomife? The recommended, what is recommended? Schedule. The recommended
Duration.
schedule.
Duration.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like exactly. Each video is like less than 2 hours. So let's say on Monday you watched that one. I understand that as a beginner, it may take a bit more time. Maybe there are some terminologies you don't understand. But don't dwell too much on those right now. Your first goal is to complete the video. Don't worry too much about what you don't understand. Just watch it till the end. Then you finish watching it to the end, and it's like, okay, what have I not understood? I know that there's still some gaps, but managed to watch it to the end. Maybe then that can serve as a basis for you asking questions in class or on Discord channel. And during the week, Yamufe also did a check-in. A few people joined the call. I also joined the calls during the week when it is like checking it on people. So I encourage you to use that as well. I think Yomife it happened on Wednesday this week, right? And he also did it last week. I was also there, like people were asking questions. We went through some things together. It's a very informal chat, so that's also an opportunity to be able to go through some of the questions that you had. And also on the Discord channel, people were asking questions. People had some challenges, and it was addressed. So this is why we have all of this means to support you. And each week is not the same. Next week is also packed with 4 lectures, but in the week to come, if you look at the schedule, there's a peak, and then it's a little bit relaxed intentionally to give you a breather, and then just before we start machine learning classes. So just stick with it. It may feel daunting at first, but it will get better. It usually does get better. Tayo, you can go ahead, please, if everything is okay. Mahmoud, I hope you're satisfied with my answer a little bit.
Also on probably during the week as well. If there are questions you feel like will be much more answer, you can come around probably during the weekly check-in and let us drop your questions on the chat so that we'll have time to properly go through them and review the questions and whatever it is you need to understand. And even if it is during the week, during the the check-in, you can always work something out. We are constrained by time on this Saturday session. We don't want to we don't want to like exceed 2 hours. But on the Discord channel and during the check-in, we are not like that. We are not that constrained. I hope that is clear, everyone.
Yes, sorry to I just wanted to ask about the attendance for today.
Okay.
That's a great question. I'm going to hand it out. I'll drop it in the chat.
Hi everyone. Hello.
Hi,
Can
Tayo. We can hear
Yeah.
you. Can you please
Alright.
zoom in?
Hello, Tayo.
Hi. Oh, you want me to zoom in a bit? Okay, let's see. 150 is too much. This is good, right?
Yeah, it's good. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay. So good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. Thanks, Yamife, for today's session, and thanks to everyone who's here. Thanks for, we know it's not easy. It's a Saturday morning. We'd rather be doing anything else than being here. So thank you. Thank you for always indulging us. So I'm just going to be going through this workbook, focusing on the scraping bits. You've gone through the resources throughout the week. So I'm just going to walk through this notebook. It's supposed to cover a lot of the things that you've seen, but please do feel free to stop me at any point in time. If there's anything that is unclear, we can discuss it. Also, a caveat is while we hope that everything works, your questions might introduce new variables that would require changing one or two things, but what is important really is understanding how these things work as opposed to getting them to work without understanding it. So let's just keep that in mind. But with that said, I'm just going to continue from where Yemi first stopped, which was after exploring the Bangalore data. So we're just going to move on to other data. If you look at the material, a couple of other resources might have been mentioned, but this is also another non-exhaustive list, but very helpful as well. So we might have heard of Hugging Face. Hugging Face is a repo for data and very importantly as well, machine learning models. And
I think we lost Tyre there. I've dropped the attendance form in the chat. And I see here that Femi said the challenge is more of the hands-on lab. Do you want to expand on that?
sorry guys, I'm back. I don't know what happened with my Zoom. I don't know. But was I gone for too long? I don't think so.
No, not too long.
Okay. So let's go back to sharing. Yeah, so as I was saying, I was explaining the other data and model resources. Started with Hugging Face. I would say that Hugging Face is even more popular these days because of they've been doing a good work with their agents, building LLM agents and so forth. So increasingly popular today. But then we have other data sets like Google data sets, the UCI ML repo, Yahoo Finance for those who are interested in stock and finance data. Quando is also a financial data set, collects a lot of data from the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ is like um, the stock exchange on Wall Street, basically. Data.gov, that's a combination of the US state government and CIA data. And we also have TensorFlow data sets, Azure Open Data Set, and the World Bank Open Data. So a lot of people are interested in impact work, SDG, whatever indicators and so forth. The World Bank Open Data is a very good resource for getting data related to all those social impacts. So yeah, those are data sources, but you would have noticed that a lot of them are websites. So we are seeing links. It's not like you just, yeah, you can go to some of these websites and click on the data set and click on the download button, but not all of them are always accessible like that. And that's why we're doing this with web scraping. There are two ways to do that. You could directly just query the website by scraping, or a couple of them provide APIs. So APIs are like endpoints that you just point your program to, and once you get there, it just downloads everything that you need. So those are two ways to get going to look at web scraping, which one way or another is some form of using an API, and then we'll go to using RESTful APIs as well, and just to understand how this works. So there are two ways. Like I said, you can use a web scraping tool, like Scrapey and Beautiful Soup, or you can write a custom script. So initially, when Yomife was explaining how to install Kaggle, how to set up Kaggle on your local device or your collab, where you download the API tool, you write the script to list all the data sets that you have available, and then go ahead to download it. That could classify as one of writing a custom script, so to speak. But if you had a programming interface and you just wanted to call the Beautiful Soup package or so, or Scrapey, then that's you using a web scraping tool. Just wanted you to understand that. So the objective at the end of this is to be able to send HTTP requests to retrieve web content, to parse HTML content. So parsing simply means read in the language of the computer. Then to be able to extract specific data elements from web pages, handle common challenges like pagination and dynamic content, being able to get images from websites, and then using RESTful APIs as well. So the first one is sending HTTP requests. So HTTP requests are simply calls to websites or to web links. So just when you type something.get from a particular website, that's a simple HTTP request. Or if you're on your browser and you just say google.com, you've sent an HTTP request as well. So how do we do this within our working environment? The tool that we're using for this is Beautiful Soup. I already run this part and I have it installed at this point in time. So if you do not have all of these installed, I typically believe that request comes by default with a Python installation, but this one doesn't always come like that. So if you're going to need to install it, this is a line to install all of this. So once you have that, we can start testing the tools. So now this is one simple request for a simple HTTP request. We want to check data from CNN. Apparently CNN is open, so it allows us to do this. So I guess someone made a question earlier, like some websites do not allow access and so forth. So you need to identify the websites that do that. Or If they don't, they might have like an API key that allows you further access because they want security of their data. So you need to go in through a private channel, basically. But CNN is open, so you can easily make the request. So when you have the URL, that's the web address, um, you check for the status code. So typically, whenever you make a request on the web, there are a couple of it's typically a payload. So you make a request and then you get something back. So when you're making the request, you're sending a package and receiving back some items. And a lot of the things that go with you or come back with your request tell you the status of they tell you the status of the request that you have made. So one of such is the status code. It's part of the entire package, and the status code just lets you know whether your request was successful or not. Now, usually whenever you see 200, it means A-OK. But whenever you see, I think the most popular one is 404, when you hear error 404, not found. Or you get 500, internal error, 403, you need permission and so forth. So best case, everything goes well. We get a 200 response code. So once we have that, then we know that we're going to get the actual request that we're looking for. So in this case, we print the response code, and then we want to get the first 500 characters of the response. So once we run this, we see that the response code is 200, which is good. And this is the content. Now, when we say 500 characters, we are literally counting everything, including space. This greater than, or sorry, this less than, exclamation mark, doc type, we count everything one by one. So up until this point, everything here is assumed to be 500 characters because that's what we checked for. So once that is settled, I want to believe that you're starting to note a pattern with the way the response was generated. It didn't care what we asked for. It just gave us everything. If you're able to read it, good for you. If you're not, that's your own cup of tea as well. You asked it for data, I gave you. And that is why, so when you print response or content and you don't stop it at 500, you can see how it just keeps going because it doesn't care. You ask for the data and it's giving you the data. That's the content. Now, that's where Beautiful Soup, tools like Beautiful Soup come in because you want to parse the data. So now, what does parse mean? Like I said, but it's not just reading, it is going through it in a very logical pattern that makes it readable for you as a user. So when you install Beautiful Soup, you then parse, you create an object of the Beautiful Soup package, which is the soup. So you create an object of it with the data that you're trying to read, that you're trying to parse. And then there's this function prettify. And what that essentially does is, because we're reading HTML now, when we created the object, we specified the kind of viewing, the kind of data that we're actually passing, that we're creating an object of, which is HTML. So we want to get an HTML parser. And so once you do prettify, it is going to return to you what an HTML response should ideally look like. Anyone who's done web design and is familiar with HTML would would agree that this looks a lot better. This looks a lot more readable as HTML content as opposed to just having everything on one line. So that's what Prettify does for us. It basically makes our content readable. But it does much more than that. It does much more than that because, I mean, if it was able to identify that it is HTML, then it should also be able to identify the HTML tags, the anchor tag, the div tag, you have the classes, you have the headers, and so forth. Those are the HTML tags. So Beautiful Soup does one better. It can identify tags, and then you can use it to extract data more targeted, more specifically. So we have another example here for extracting data. So now we can say, can ask the soup object to find the header tag, an H2 tag and then have it print what the header is saying. So if you say print a certain tag, it is going to it's going to look for that tag and print out everything that you have as far as the data is concerned. Now you can even go further within the tag to identify other tags that are present in it, because HTML is, if anything, it's just a bunch of nested tags and components. So you can always go as far as possible. So we can extract the header. We can also say find all hyperlinks. So the A tag is an hyperlink. It's a link that takes you to another resource. And so we can extract that and then print the actual link. Now within an A tag, it's usually as A, you get the text, and then you have the href, the hyperlink reference, which is the address that the link is going to. So when you print this is what you get on the CNN homepage. You have a bunch of links to all of these particular places. Now, this link that says none is probably an anchor tag that doesn't have an href present, and so it's going to return none. So that's just very simple. So the idea is once you're presented with all these tools, you are able to identify what you're looking for a lot better and cleaner, and then you can make you can continue with whatever your task requires of you. So I wrote this part to list all possible tags that you can get within using the soup that we have in the HTML parser. And so these are all the available tags that you can get. So you have the anchor, you have the body, you have the break, button, defs, div, like all of these are HTML, what do you call it? HTML tags that you can always make reference to if you're looking for something more specifically. So then the other parts, which this is where it's starting to get complex now, is you have some websites where you don't just have one page, you have information spilled over into multiple pages. And one thing that you want to do is you want to get data from as many of those pages as possible. So this first example, this is okay, but it's not the cleanest because this representation doesn't exactly work. So we're just going to move on to this next link, to this next cell. So what we are the logic of this code is basically saying, if we know the number of pages that we're working with, so that's one other thing. As much as all of these are automating tools that help you, context and knowledge of what you're working with also matters. So if you know that you want to extract data and you know that it goes over multiple pages, then you must definitely have an idea of how many pages that it is going over. So that's why you have to specify the start and end pages that you're working with, because just hold on, please. So you go through all of these, you specify the number of pages, and you're basically changing your URL. So now typically and ideally, not even typically, ideally, the website should have its links in a standard manner that would help you identify where the page numbers are located and so forth, such that you are able to recreate the base URL to point to those pages. So once you have been able to do that, so that's what all of these operations are doing. You're getting the page URL, you make the data into an HTML parser, and then you extract whatever elements that you're looking for. So this is one example here. Now, this is not working well because this page did not specify its page numbers very well. So it just kept looping a particular page, kept repeating the data from a particular page. So, but now we have a more complex one where you define a function to scrape all pages, and then but you specify the actual base URL. Now, this is an example of a of a well-formatted link with paginations, because once you've gotten to the base website, you've identified the data page. Whenever you have multiple pages, there has to be an element in the address that will tell you whether it's page 1 or page 2. Like, this is the best case scenario and as simple as possible. So once you have this, within your function, you can always then start to change the page numbers and add it to the end of the base URL. So you can then get an output. But again, all of this is for later reference. It's just to help us know that we can do that for now. Taufik, you have a question. Let me attend to your question before we move further. So you said you tried to print a list of all H2 tags, but you couldn't get it. So what exactly did you not get? Is it that nothing got printed at all, or what? You can unmute yourself and answer me.
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning. I got error when
What
I
was
tried
it?
to print this stuff. That was when I was trying it yesterday. I can't really remember that.
Okay. Now I can't really help much, but I want to say that as much as possible, if you had followed what we have here, yeah, where did we print H2? Yeah, if you just did something like this, like say headers H2, and you say just print everything, you could say find all. So if you followed what you have in 628 and you replicated it for H2, so you say headers is equal to sub.find all H2s, then for header in headers, print each of them. It's definitely going to work. It's very simple. So unless you probably didn't have it installed properly or you weren't referencing it right, this should work. Now, if you
Yes.
try it and it doesn't work, you
Will it
let
be
me.
dot get text?
Sorry?
Will it be headers dot get text?
If there's a
Where
get
the
text
H
function, sorry?
where the href is there? What will replace the href if I'm trying to print headers?
No. So now, again, this is why I keep saying you have to understand the context. Now, in HTML, your header tag does not have an href because it is not a link. Does that make sense? So the header tag is not going to you're not going to have an href within your header tag, but you can get the text within, so you can say header.get text, and then it's going to print whatever text is present. So say for this case, if we said h2.get text, it'll probably return Zelensky vows Ukraine will not be planned. Do you understand? But H2 will not it's not going to get you an href. It won't, because H2s do not contain hrefs. You can look at this now. You see that there's no href there at all. So you need to understand the HTML components and how they work as well, so that you know what you're looking for. Does that answer you?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. So the next thing now is we want to get images, how to get images from websites. And I'll just say it's pretty simple, similar to how you get the text. You create the beautiful soup object, and what you're looking for again is the image tag, the HTML image tag. So once you get all of that, you can then start to manipulate it however you like. This example is trying to help us save the link to each of the images. So once it gets the image tag in all of the images, source, the, and now the source link to the image in itself. And if the source doesn't start with HTTP, you want to append the HTTP to the start of the link so that you have an hyper reference, a link to go to for the image. And once you do that, the new image URL. Very simple. Now, once we're done with that as well, as per this example, you can then save the names that you've gotten, the image URLs. You can then write them to a folder called image file. And once that is complete, you're going to get something like this. The images folder, right? Because you created a folder called images and everything just goes in here. So that's what this is going to do for you. Now, again, context always matters. It depends on whatever you're doing. If your task requires you to save the image names, you can follow this path. If you just want to download one image, you follow your path. What is most important in this case is find all image tags. Now, whatever you do with that is up to you. This example was looking to change the URLs and then save them as well for reference. So, I mean, that's the beauty of the work that we're doing here. There's no everybody must do it this way. It is, what is my task? What am I trying to achieve? And then you manipulate the data that you get. Someone has their hand raised. Chitom.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry, just going back to that header when you were explaining that header code something. Sorry, can you just pull up the yeah, so I just wanted
Hello?
to ask. Yeah, so I
Okay.
just wanted to ask a question concerning that header. So when I was trying to script mine, that header, like it was writing none. Like, is
None.
there a problem? Yeah, none, none, None.
Okay.
Yeah, but like those like href links they were displaying. I didn't have a problem with that, but I'm talking about like what I'm trying to ask is most all like sites that you're scraping from must they have like headers like just like yours was showing a long code this thing, a long output. Mine was showing header because the way I did my own, I made it header one, header two, and they were both showing none. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
No. So when you at least you're getting a result, correct?
Yeah, it wrote none.
Can I quickly chip in here? So when you're scraping a website, you're not doing it in isolation. Always go to the web page, right? So Tara, if you go to if you go to CNN.com and you open like try to open the HTML page, like this right click, maybe not everyone knows. You can see what kind of structure that page has, right?
Exactly.
If it does not have any header, then you will not get any header. But most websites will have headers, right? You can see everything there. You like the thing about web scraping usually is that you can never follow just one tutorial to do everything because it depends on that
Exactly.
particular page you're trying to scrape. You have to go and check what is there and you come back and it's a very hacky thing. So just wanted to put it there. So Chitom, check your page. Does it have H2? If it does not have H2, it will be none. You will not find it.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
For instance, if you look at this particular one that I'm seeing here now, I'm seeing header directly instead of H1 or H2. So they've defined another component on the page for themselves. So thank you very much, Teju, because it's what I've been trying to echo the whole time. There's a peculiarity to every task and every website that you're trying to get information from. So you need to know what is present before you can then write the code to manipulate it. Otherwise, you're working against yourself, to be fair. Does someone have another question? Yes, please, Bala.
That I do. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my question is that if, for instance, I wanted to get an information from like social media platforms, whether Facebook or Twitter, on a particular subject matter. For instance, I wanted to get an information for like sentiments analysis related to politics of Nigeria. How do I go about that one? Did I follow the same procedure with this or what?
So I'm just going to attend to the question because it's kind of following from what Teju just responded to. Again, there is no full tutorial for all of this, like context matters. But now, if you're talking about a website like Twitter, Facebook, and the rest, one thing you have to understand is how do thank you for that post. How do those platforms interact with getting data? They have a component of privacy, as with Google and some other website that will not give you permission. So what you first know is that for some of them, you need an API. The same way you had to get a Kaggle API, you might need a Twitter API to be able to interact with the Twitter um, backend. You need an API key to interact with the Twitter API. So now once you get that, once you've moved past that, you'd see what the payload, what the response you get from querying the API looks like. So once you have that, you need to know what it looks like first and foremost. It's not a trick question of, oh, it's Twitter. Let me just write something and see what comes out. No, you see what the data looks like. In fact, if you go to the Twitter docs, their API docs, you are going to see what the response would look like. So once you get access to that, it then depends on what your task is. You want to look for sentiments. Okay, great. Extract the data that you have and then continue on your merry way with your task. Otherwise, there's no one is going to hold your hand because if my example here, if I was using Twitter or Facebook for my example here, and all I wanted to do was just print out the first 10 tweets that I can see, let's assume, that's not going to help you for your own sentiment analysis. It's going to help you up to the point of getting those tweets. Now, how you start to analyze it for your analysis is going to be dependent on your own workflow. Does that make sense? Bala,
Hello, I have a question. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go
Okay,
sure.
my
Thank
question is okay. So my question is, you posted this open weather map for generating API key. Does this same thing apply to every other site if you want to replicate that you need the API key for?
No, no.
Okay.
One API key does not work for everybody.
Okay.
It doesn't work everywhere. In fact, API keys are attached to individual accounts. They're attached to individual accounts. So that's why when Yemife opened his own Kaggle API key earlier, Tejo said he has to go back, delete it, and regenerate another one. Because what that means is if someone else were using that, it is going to be attached, it's going to be linked to his own account. But now that Kaggle API key will not be useful for Open Weather Map. It won't be useful for Google either. So each key is unique to the person that generated it. That's why you have a profile. It's unique to that and for your use case. Even we're looking at Open Weather Map. I don't know much about this. I haven't used it, but if you're talking Google, Google has API keys for different services. You have for the static map. In the same place, I saw for Google APIs for custom search and so forth. So if I have a Google static maps API, it's not going to work for this particular use case on custom search. It will not. I need to generate a different API key for that. So that's letting you know that even within one company that runs multiple services, APIs have to be unique to the service and then ultimately attached to your account so that they can tell, okay, a request comes out, maybe something that was generated. You're about to say it is for when a child gets into trouble. That's why they name them. So all of this to be able to backtrace to the source of where the thing was generated from. Do you understand? So it is always very unique. So yeah, the API key that you have here, I want to believe the person that generated this, if the API key is present, would have changed it. Probably wouldn't work anymore. And that's why we're not going to run these cells. It's just for you to understand what it is and how they work. So websites or organizations that believe that they have sensitive information, they always go a step further to make sure that there is controlled access to their data. It is open, but it is controlled. Does that answer you? I want to believe so. Okay, so where were we? Now, RESTful APIs. Now, so what does REST stand for? It's basically an architectural style for software engineering, to be honest. So please don't roll your eyes. Data scientists we can't do our work in isolation. You have to you have to do a bit of everything one way or another to be the best at your game. So that's why you need to understand, like most of what we've been doing is data science, but it's also software engineering because we're interacting with Python directly, writing code for generating requests and getting our data. So that's a skill set that we need to have in our arsenal. And while using the tools, you also have to understand the principles behind them. And that's why we need to understand what REST API is. So it's a way for designing network applications. And so it's just a state transfer of that. We won't get too much into the details. If you're an engineer, you can find out more about that. So basically, APIs, the RESTful APIs, they help us expose data or they make data available through URLs or links known as endpoints. So they make the data available through those links, and then they use standard HTTP methods to perform operations on these resources. Now, what are the operations? Get, post, put, delete. Get literally means to retrieve, to get. Post means to push. Put is like an insert in place, so to speak, and delete is to remove. Obviously, all of these actions, they have different levels of access control because getting is relatively harmless. Anyone can extract something. So as far as hierarchy and access is concerned, get is the most lenient in terms of access. But you see delete, not everybody gets access to that. Not everybody gets access to that. In fact, you are not going to get access to any of the open websites, the open weather maps, the Googles, the Twitters, the Kaggles. You don't have access to any of their delete APIs. Generally speaking, you wouldn't have it. So for things like delete and put, if you're going to have for posts, then it has to be a lot more controlled. So within your own context. So for the APIs, for like the posts for some of these websites like Twitter, for instance, when you make a tweet, you're literally using their post API to post something on your Twitter app or something. That's a post, but you can see that it is local to your own account. You signed in, and that's the entirety of the scope within which your post works. You don't post something and then everybody logs into their account and it counts as one of their tweets. The day that happens, that's what you call a data leak, and there's a problem in their system. So it's never going to happen. So point is, all of these actions, they have levels of access control. Mostly when we're doing data collection, we are mostly going to be working with the GET request most of the time. And that is exactly what we've been doing here. Request dot what? Get. That's mostly what we've been doing. And that's what we're going to use most of the time. Unless now we are the ones that are building the data platform and then managing control. But that's a conversation for another time. Now, part of what we've been saying before is as much as get is free for all, everyone gets access to the get requests. There are some organizations that would say, yes, you can get access to this, but we also need a key. It's a form of authentication and authorization process so that we know that you're an authorized user. And that is why some of these platforms like Open Weather Map, Google, Twitter, Cargo, they have an API key that you can get on the platform. You don't pay for it, at least the open sourced ones. So once you get the API key, you have to include it as part of your requests, your URL request to their resource. So once you have the link generated like this, at some point, you need to provide the API key so that you can get a result. Now, once you do that, you can then start to manipulate the output however you like. In this case, this person has converted it to a JSON payload. So that means with that, you can, okay. Yeah, I think that's clear. This is another example here for using the Google custom search. The API key has been provided, the parameters for the links, we have them here. Controlled access again, so we've been able to generate this. Then it's the same thing going on here. Now, when we talk about dynamic content, we've been looking at static web pages. That is, the data is just sitting on the web page, it doesn't change. And those are the easiest to work with because the data never changes unless it's manually updated. But now there are websites that are dynamic. The content keeps changing every minute, every second, every hour, like news pages. So another powerful tool to help with that is Selenium. It helps with dynamic content on web pages. Similar to the way Beautiful Soup works, you just use it to control, you identify um, all of the web elements in the website, and then you just ask it to print them for you. It has its specific syntax, so it's mostly like find elements. These are like default items, and then you're looking for a div with the ID data review ID. And once you're able to do that, it's going to return all of the data that you want. Then the last part that we're going to look at is regular expressions. Regular expressions, one rule I'm going to tell you here is you don't need to cram all of the, you don't need to cram the syntax. You do not. What you need to do is understand what you're trying to get. So are you trying to match something? Are you trying to look for something? And once you understand that, then if you're trying to match, then it's going to return where it occurs. If you're trying to look for something, it is going to return the position where that thing is in what you're looking for. So this is an example. If you say within this text, you want to match data science. Once you do that, you can then say print where it starts from and then it returns the position. Does that make sense? Now, if in this case you want to look for what the word apple, you're looking for a pattern, then you say match this pattern. Once you've matched it, you can print match.group. Now, match.group is going to return everything that you were looking for, the pattern that you were looking for. So that's why we have, if you find the match, print it here, and then afterwards print the position, the index position from your root text. And that's what this tells us. We found the match apple in position 7. Now, this part, you're going to have to study it very well. But another quick rule is whenever you have some patterns, the way you have apple here defined, it means you're looking for apple. But now if you have it in a square bracket and you put an asterisk in front of it, it is basically saying look for anything that is not apple. Or if you have a character with a star in front of it, it's saying look for that character one or multiple times and so forth. So just understand all of the special characters that work with regular expressions and you'll be good. Also understand the escape characters. So you have space, tab, sound, new line, and so forth. So these are some other quick examples. When you have a bunch of patterns in a square brackets, you're looking for each of them, each of the items in this pattern. You're not looking for them sequentially. You're looking for occurrences of each of the elements within the square brackets. And once you do that, once you do a find all and print the matches, it's going to print where each of them occurs. Now, what I was saying about the carrots, once you have the carrot in front of those items, it means give me everything that is not those items in the square brackets, and then it prints out every other thing for you. Now, occurrences of numbers, you're looking for /d. These are called special escape characters. When you say /d, you're looking for numbers. So look for the numbers here. It's going to print out the numbers, everything but the numbers. Now, alphanumeric is /w. So that's telling you, give me letters, give me numbers, as well as special characters. So that's what you mean by alphanumeric. So it's literally going to return everything present in your text. And then if you're looking for white space, it's slash S. It's going to return all the white spaces. White spaces is where you press spacebar. Then grouping in regular expressions. This is a little more complex, so you might want to spend some time with it. But basically what this is saying is if you have this statement, today is this particular date, and we're looking for this pattern. So what this pattern is telling us is we're looking for a number, but the length is 2. That's 2 places. And we're looking for a 2-digit number, basically. Match the hyphen, looking for another 2-digit number, match the hyphen, and now we're looking for a 4-digit number. Once we can identify this pattern, we've gotten a match. So once you have this statement and you look for this pattern within that sentence, you can then print what you have. So you can see that the interpretation to finding the match is up to you. You want to print the day, the month, and the year. So it's going to give you all of that. And that's what you have here as your output. Yeah. So thank you all so much for your time. I guess we can continue now, Teju. Thanks.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And I must say that I have the best team. Tayo has been part of the team, the lead for AS at the Lagos since 2018, since we started from the beginning. And I texted Tayo yesterday night that can you make a guest appearance today? So I'm really thankful that he's able to join. I just thought that it will add more flavor to today's community session. So I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. Yomife will continue with the class and also tell us about week 3. We're a little bit behind, but we also start a little bit late, so I hope you can stay on for about 20 minutes or so.
Okay. I thank you, Mr. Tayo, for the wonderful session. Really appreciate it. So let me share my screen. So I hope we all understood this session. If there are any further questions, please try these stuff out and post your questions. All these challenges you were facing while doing the assessment, you can definitely like write them or you can just like post them on the chat and let us know what exactly how best to um work things out for you. Exactly. Please always ask your questions. That's why we are here for you. So thank you very much once again, Mr. Tayo, and thanks to Tejo. Okay, so this week, I guess there's no really much need to. All this has been explained to us. So this week we'll be focusing more on relational database, so SQL and also exploratory data analysis. So this week we'll be doing more of this week we'll be getting more into pandas. Do you guys will be working with pandas and it will be a very awesome lesson and also be interacting with database. So yeah. So regarding this assessment, since regarding the assessment for this past week, for week 2, since a lot of people have been asking for a grace period, we'll extend the grace period till tomorrow by 3 p.m. West African time. So we'll
Hello,
leave the
boss.
link.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Hi, sir.
Okay. I think you can just drop your questions in the chat. I'll go if you have any questions, just drop it in the chat. So we'll leave it till it's 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Good. What do you think, Teju?
No, please, Wednesday.
Ah,
Sorry, end of the day. So let's do tomorrow by 7 p.m. So the assessment is going to close immediately. You see the update for week three. So the moment we send an email for the week three content, the assessment is closing. Is that a deal? It's a very simple assessment. If I can recall, we were just supposed to go to GitHub, create a repository, right? And do some little web scraping and make sure that you have a folder in your repository. It's meant to help you have a GitHub presence as well. So it's not a very challenging one yet, I think. So just like now we even went through the web scraping lecture in detail intentionally to make sure to help you be able to try out the like the assessment and hopefully you're able to like submit it before the end of day tomorrow. It's not again, it's not end of day. It's like when we send you that email for week three, afterwards the assessment has closed. So if we'll send you the email at 8 p.m., that's when the assessment closes. If we send it at 9 p.m., it closes at 9 p.m. But we will send that email
Pedro, can we
tomorrow.
do Monday, please? Can we do Monday, please? Please, can
Okay.
we do Monday,
Mon-
please?
Monday for
Eh,
the assessments to close or for we to send you information about
yes,
week.
ma. No, for the assessment to close, you can still send the information for week three.
Okay. So Monday when?
Let's say Monday 3 p.m. is fine. After work, at least we're supposed to have been done. Tomorrow is church service, so most of us before we come back is late. But I believe by Monday evening we should be done by that, please.
Okay. But there's also assessments for next week. Will you have time to complete
Yes,
it?
yes. What I'm saying is, I know I'm just speaking for myself. I just like being fair. I don't know for others.
Okay.
So you can push the assessments for week three, let them continue their own while I try to mobile up my own of week two and week three, so that I won't delay those for week three because of
Oh my
my own
God.
issue.
Unubusi. Okay, okay. You've managed to convince me and yeah, and
Thank
hear
you.
me fair. Okay, let's say we will keep the assessment for week to be end of day on Monday. Is that fair enough for everyone?
Very much fair. God bless you. Very much fair.
Of course, like let us know. We're here to support you. Like if we hear that, a lot of people want this grace period and then we can try to make it happen. The reason why we didn't have that last week was because we already went through the solution in class on Saturday. So when people were asking us to keep it open, it won't be fair anymore because we've already done the assessment solution. So
Okay. All right. Thank you, Teju. Thanks for the grace period. Don't worry, we'll try to submit in time this time around. We won't ask for any more
yeah.
grace period.
Yeah, for sure. But for the next assessment, just know that the earlier the better, and the only acceptable grace period would be also like to extend it until Monday, end of day. If you're waiting to think that like we will extend it, you may be wrong, and it does not happen. So I just really encourage you to try as much as possible to do the assessment. And if you're running into any problem, you reach out soon.
So so please don't wait till weekend before you start talking. That's why we have the channel. Ask your questions. But when you try the assessments, even when you while trying the assessment, if you don't understand it, answer it. Just tell us. We can always answer your questions without answering the assessment. So there are always ways to go about it. Just ask your questions. If you're not clear about something, probably the question isn't clear enough. Talk. they will know how best to, probably if we need to rephrase the question or just or maybe make you understand it. So and it is just scraping, just scrape. We are not asking you to scrape a particular word. Scrape anything you want. If it is Wikipedia, I don't know. Okay, because there was no time. I quickly did a Wikipedia scraping. I scraped the table, and because there was no time, I was not able to show you guys. Probably I might decide to drop the notebook in the channel, but regardless, just scrape something. We are not. It might be if it is picture you want to scrape. If it is a table, if it is even if it's just a simple text, just scrape something from a particular website. There is no, there's no reward for how much you scrape. But if you now want to increase your bandwidth and scrape probably an entire website, or you want to that is up to you. Fine, it is good to go the extra mile, but please just scrape something, put it on your GitHub profile, put it on create a repo, put it on the GitHub and in the push your solution, like the script used to scrape the website, as well as the script data. Push it to GitHub and then send us the link. That is all we are asking. I
But
also want you to
There's a word for who scrape better now. You get you learn more. You become a better data scientist.
ah,
Is that not enough reward?
yeah, that's a very good one. But I'm just trying to, let them see that it is not as hard as they are taking it to be. There might there's fine. The better the more you scrape, the better you are at it, because you're not scraping this. We are not really interested in data you're scraping. We don't need this for anything. But just the reason why we are doing is for you to be efficient in doing this thing and know how to do it.
It's just for
So
you to practice, to know the tools that if you need to do web scraping in the future, you know how to do it. It's not every time that people scrape, and you also need to scrape ethically. Just make sure that the website is open, and then you're not illegally getting information that you're not supposed to be getting. Just a little caveat.
so exactly. So please, do it. Exactly. So this week we'll be focusing on exploratory data analysis and exploratory data analysis and SQL, as I said. This week assessments. Okay, the next week, right? Week three assessments will be in two sections. So you'll be querying a database, you'll be answering questions based on the database, and then we'll also provide you a set of data sets. You pick any one of it, and then you perform exploratory data analysis on it. And then you will share your findings with us. You investigate. So you can decide to post it on Medium, you can post it on LinkedIn, you can post it on Twitter, you can post, and if you don't want to post, but we just want to see your thought process. Scrape it. If there's any challenge, if you face any challenge, again, if you face any challenge while watching the video or while performing the exploration data analysis or even while querying the database, let us know. Let us know. You are not in university that someone will say, it is where you be queried, or you're in secondary school, where you be queried that it's an assessment, go figure it out. We are here to figure out everything together. If you have any challenge, bring it to our attention. So do this. So that is as simple as that. Answer questions on the data based on the database. Perform exploratory data analysis and share your findings with us. So this will be and then you remember
You want
your
to go
you
to the next slide, Yomi Fair? I think that's the next slides detail the assessment, right? Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so but and then remember this will be in a different repo, in a different repository on your GitHub. Exactly. You will create a different repository. Just want you to be familiar with it. Create a
Yeah.
README file. So in your README file, I don't, sure, in your README file, you can put all the you can put your findings regarding the data sets on regarding your exploration data analysis. You can put it there. So Yeah, so that's basically what the assessment for this for week 3 is all about. I hope that is clear enough to everyone. Is that clear? I guess so.
Yes.
By the end of the cohort, you'll be like a ninja. Like your GitHub is like on fire. You can share all of your findings. And we want to make sure that you practice and you continue to use it because a lot of these tools that we're introducing to you, you can only get better by trying them. You need to do something. It's not just theory. So we're trying to use this assessment as a way to help you practice and stay accountable to yourself, but also it helps for future. Let's say you're trying to apply for a job, they ask you what kind of tool can you use, and it's like, oh yeah, I have this and that, and they say, well, where have you used it? And you can say, oh, I have some information on my GitHub. So that helps you become more attractive to a future employer. And it also would help you for the project that you will be doing for this course, which will come in a few weeks.
Okay. So we want you to all these thoughts you are learning now will be thoughts you use in your day-to-day activities as a data scientist, as a machine learning engineer. You need to know them and when best to use them. You will always use GitHub because it's used for contributing to code. You use it to contribute for it's used for collaboration. So you always use GitHub. So you need to start getting familiar with it from now. And then all these databases, you will always need them because most of your data will be on a database, and you have to learn how to query them and fetch the needed data you need. Your data won't just be you won't just be getting data from Kaggle, or you won't just be taking data for your workplace. You will have an internal database where you will always get your data that you need. So just want to like prepare you for all of this, and then when you are going for you have a job interview and they're asking you questions on these particular tools, you can be confident that you have done these things, and it is not just a random stuff. Do you get that? So, I guess so. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and ensure you bookmark this playlist because this is where all the videos are. So you can always go there and check them out ahead of time, or you can wait to send the material. Also, our GitHub account. This is where all the material is. So you can also go and check it out as well. Please don't forget to go through the JIT auto material I sent. Go through it. If you have questions, drop them on the channel. I mean, ensure you connect your JIT to GitHub. Please, it is important. You need it. It's better you do it now, and start getting try it, make mistake, then we'll see how. Then keep trying, and then in the midst of trying, you get better at it. You know what doesn't work, and then you understand what works. So yeah, I think thank you very much for staying till now. We are sorry for taking your time. We are sorry the mail didn't get sent.
Yeah, sorry about that. We'll try. We'll keep trying. Sorry, it's really my fault. You can go to your Owambe now, right? What's happening today on Saturday. Dubusi, go ahead.
Yeah, Teju and Amy, I want to say a very big thank you because of
Oh,
how you guys have managed the class, this community. I will be part of this community even after this training, right?
oh,
Because
oh.
yeah,
Yomika, look at that. Oh,
is
We are looking forward.
yeah, yeah, you guys are really touching people, touching lives out there. In
oh,
fact,
oh.
I have an engagement, but I have to park on the road for the 2 hours for me not to miss today's class.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew you were going to Owambe.
Yes. It's not a one, but it's official work.
It's
Wow.
official. I thought it said
Honestly,
engagement. I thought it was a one bet. Sorry.
so please just keep it up. You are doing a good job. Really, I really, and on behalf of all our members, really want to say thank you. You God will bless you. And I know
Amen. And
better
you
guys will
too.
come out. Better guys will come out from this community and support this community. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Amen. Thank you so much. We're really
Thank you.
grateful for you to be here, and I just like we want you to know we're here for you. Like this is extremely important. Like we go over the materials. We have kind of we rethink like what people struggling with. How can we make sure that everyone has the best time? And we just really hope that you take the opportunity to engage, ask your question, and you come out flying because of course you can do it. Like I am 100% confident that you will be one of the best data scientists or machine learning engineer or whatever you want to become in years to come if you just keep at it because nothing is not like can't be achieved. My philosophy is always that everything and anything is attainable. You just need to put in the work. And it's slowly by slowly you will get there. So good luck. Olumide, you wanted to say something.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. You have already been a mentor.
Oh,
4 years
thanks
now
for your
counting.
very kind words.
Thank you,
Four
Thank
years now
guys.
thank
Thank
counting.
you,
you.
guys. Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Please, the GitHub you shared with the one that is linked with the AICs, we need a permission to like. I can't really. It's not that I'm trying to clone, but I'm just trying to read through some guideline to help me in, especially for web scraping. Now, it's really making a whole. So I really want to know about this web scraping at all because I need a promotion at work and it's web scraping that they need.
Okay. So sorry, what was the problem you were encountering with the
So
Git up?
okay, not this GitHub, the AIC's GitHub that has what's it called, the flip what's it boot camp
Yeah, the
cohort.
code
Yeah,
structure. You
yes,
want
the course
to
structure. Yeah, so he,
you
he
can
said he's asking like you need to give me permission to do some things. So maybe you
you
have the
can
time.
fork the repository. So once you
Okay,
fork
okay.
the repository, it will become yours to do whatever you want to do.
Oh wow, thank you very much. Let me just do that. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
you just fork the repository.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no worries. And best of luck with everything.
Thank
Yeah, take care, everyone. And Yomife, thank you so much. I just want to say again, guys, like Yomife put in so much work to this code. I'm not joking. He's like busting his ass off just to make sure that everything works perfectly. So when you see him in person in the future or like on Discord, just say thank you to him because he's doing such a great job. Um,
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for making the work. Thanks for making it work. Because if we do everything and you guys didn't show up, then it's all for nothing. So once again, we are here for you. Ask your questions, regardless. We don't want you to fail. We want you to know this thing. I want you to pass. That's why we are providing all the necessary materials for you. So don't
Oh,
worry.
sorry,
This
please. Lastly, I have one word, please. Can you because this what's it called assessment didn't come on time, can you just give us the maybe like tomorrow so that we can commit to come on the free? Thank you.
Yeah, the time for the assessment has been,
Yeah, it's Monday end
it's-
of day now.
Okay,
The
because
week two assessment will close Monday end of day.
all
And
right, because I've not.
the week three assessment is still for Friday, but if we see that a lot of people need some time, we can also extend that to Monday end of day because it's a bit more like you need to do analysis and you need to write it up, so it could take a bit more time. But it depends. If you're able to finish it and a lot of people have finished it, then there's no point extending it. So let's see.
Oh, sorry. Are you going to give us a data set for the analysis?
Um, Yes, we will provide all those information tomorrow in the email that we'll send out for week three. So you get more instruction there.
Okay,
and
thank you.
if anything still feels unclear, after the email, you can let us know on the Discord channel.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for
All
waiting.
right.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
can you
Remember
hear me?
to
What?
The attention.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Sorry, I just wanted to clarify. Most of the assessments like work because just like this particular uh, assessment that you said at the end of this new assessment that we'll send the link just like we did with the last one. So are we going to like be using the same repository, like pushing all these things to the same repository that we
No,
created for the
Yomife
can you
mentioned
hear
that
me?
for next week you will create another
Okay,
folder in the same repository, right? Or Yomife, is it I think you should have one repository for the entire cohort. You create one
exactly. That's what I
repository
want
for
to
the entire
confirm.
cohort, and
Exactly.
inside that repository you have different folder. So
Different folders. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think it makes sense like that.
yeah, no,
Thank
no,
you
no, don't, yeah, just one repository for the entire cohort.
for everything. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, all right.
Nice. But make sure the folders are, make sure the folders are correctly stated and make
Yeah,
sure you
exactly.
give the links to the correct folder.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Jennifer, you can close us up, and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Jabbar. Thank you, Teju. Thank you, everyone, for waiting. Thank you. Catch you guys on the Discord channel and again next week. Have a nice one. Bye bye.